Hi everybody, I just thought I'd do a little mini vlog really about me and an update on what's going on. So I was back at hospital today, got some good news in regards to lymph-ish, things that need to be kept an eye on, but no signs of cancer from the recent biopsy, which is good. Some other changes that need to be made to try and prevent nasties. However, whilst I was there, I got my full body check, which is basically where your dermatologist kind of looked back on the images. Mine were taken in 2016, a year after I was diagnosed the first time. And he compares those with what my body looks like now. And there were two moles on my shoulder that have kind of like joined together and become friends, as well as a new one right next to it. So they were whipped off today. I mean, they really don't take any chances with this stuff, so don't know why I'm showing you, I just feel like showing you. So it's here, and it was a punch biopsy, so they kind of punched a hole about that size, and then they do a run and stitch around it, pull it together so it's like a line, and then they stitch it. So there's about 6 or 7 little stitches in there. I watched it because the light that they use that reflects over the site that they are operating on, if you like. I could see my reflection and I could watch it all going on, which is really quite interesting. So those are dissolvable stitches. Don't need it checked up upon, need to keep it dry for a couple of days. And I should get a histology report within a week or two. It's usually over the phone. I've even been re-diagnosed over the phone before, so that's like no great shakes for me really in terms of hearing that news. But actually that's just ridiculous. Of course it is. I've had 5 melanomas now, and I've always thought the 6th one would be the breaking point. Anyway, I read a poem out in yoga yesterday. So some of you may or may not know, but I teach yoga and meditation, mainly for myself more than anybody else. Usually to patients, so the vast majority of people that come to my class are my physio patients, so that I can tailor the class exactly to them, their bodies, what they need, what they definitely don't need. And I came across this poem yesterday. I always read out a poem in class, pretty much anyway. And I came across this poem yesterday by a lady called Erin Hansen, who I'm not familiar with. And it's about our bodies really, because even with Crohn's disease, I've described it in the past when I was very first diagnosed as being bullied from the inside out. Because with Crohn's disease, you generally can't see it, and unless you get incredibly poorly, and you look a bit shit, but otherwise, you kind of don't see it. You can hide it really quite well. Well, I certainly do anyhow. And I think sometimes melanoma is very similar, as much as it is skin cancer. It can spread out throughout the body, as we know. Or you should know, because I've bleated on about it quite a bit. It can go into the lymph nodes, hence the reason why I've had lots of stuff going on with that recently. Because I do still have the swelling there, and I do still have enlarged lymph nodes, and I have had since June. And it can then attack organs, brain, and and cause death, quite simply. So it's quite an aggressive cancer, or certainly can be aggressive if it's not caught early enough, which is great that I am monitored really regularly. Anyway, however, back to the poem. The reason why I really like this, it's kind of about it's about appreciating our bodies, which actually I talk a lot about in yoga anyway. Sorry, I'm just going to turn this heater off. Perimenopause flush. So it's about appreciating and having gratitude for the body that we have, even though we get a bit pissed off with it at times, because I know I certainly do, and feel very let down by my body at times, even though I eat well, I move well, I meditate, I feel like I'm a decent person, but still bad shit happens to good people. So this poem, I loved it. It resonated with me. I know that I don't even like that word resonate. It seems to be used an awful lot, overused, but it did. It really spoke to me, this poem. So I'm going to read it out to you and try not to cry when I'm doing so. I've got my laptop here. Okay, are you ready? So if you are listening to this, if you've managed to make it this far, because nearly 5 minutes into this video, close your eyes and listen to it. Listen to the words, let them sink in, and feel the words, if that makes any sense. Okay, if there's one thing that I may tell you, let it be you are home. Your body is the only house that you will ever truly own. Maybe it's got some broken windows and there are tear stains on the floor. Maybe you lock the things you wish you weren't behind its many doors. But there is wisdom on its bookshelves and a laugh to light the rooms. There's a vase upon the table where the love you've grown all blooms. Dreams sit on the mantelpiece next to kindness and your trust, where you use them all so often that they have no time to collect dust. So please don't look at mansions with the envy in your eyes. There's more that makes a home than its appearance or its size. Your body is your shelter, so you deserve to love it all. Don't let the world stand round outside and tell you how to paint your walls. How lucky that you have somewhere to protect you from the night. And if there's cracks left from the past, well, then they just let in more light. So there you go. So I've got lots of cracks, so I should have lots of light, which sometimes I think I give to other people quite readily, but actually I'm a bit shit at saving some of that and kind of nurturing myself. And I'm aware of this, and I do keep trying to remedy it, and I'm still a bit shit at it. So I am a work in progress, same as anybody else, but I am trying my very bestest. So I guess the whole point of this video is to appreciate what you have, try not to sweat the small stuff, try not to whinge about things too much, yeah? So everything's all relative, and I say this to everybody all the time, and you know, I've got friends who, well, the ones that do actually bother their arse to ask about me, because many don't. I will say to them, you know, when we're talking, they're like, oh God, you know, I feel ridiculous complaining to you with all that you've got going on. But that doesn't mean to say I can't listen to others, and it doesn't mean to say that their problems aren't as big to them as my problems are to me. So everything's all relative. I would just say, just always check in, you know. I've spent time with people, not that recently because I've kind of culled a little bit of it, and I've been a bit more precious with my time, but I've spent time with people where I have asked them about everybody in their family, all their friends, everybody I know of, and I've walked away from that catch up and they haven't asked me how I am, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit empty, you know, because I probably would have said, oh yeah, I'm all right, you know, but then I would have maybe talked a little bit about what was going on, because there's always something going on with me. And then I think to myself, well, why aren't they asking about me? Are they scared? Do they just not want to know? Are they waiting for me just to come out and say something? But as much as I am an open book, and this is why I do these videos, it is still nice to be asked how you are doing, because I will tell you, and I might not go into the very depths of it because I might not be up for it at that particular time, but it is really nice to know that people care. And if you don't ask how they are, people like me can feel like you don't care. So I would just say, just check in on folk, you know, when you've got that opportunity, when you're sat in front of them, when you're on the phone, when you're texting them, just check in to see how they are. It can make a world of difference to people. Check your skin, as always. You know, this is a melanoma video after all, so if you notice any changes whatsoever, I'd kind of noticed this. Then speak to the people that you need to speak to. Your GP is the first point of contact if you haven't been diagnosed with skin cancer in the first place. If you have, you phone dermatology and you get to see them ASAP. Give yourself a little bit of nurture. Be thankful for who you are and the body that you live in, no matter how shit it might feel at times. Look after yourself. Be really precious with your time. And if you find that folk are a little bit harder work than they used to be, and you are only keeping in touch with them because you feel you have to, then don't. Yeah, because likelihood is you probably haven't got enough time to spend with those that you really want to. So be selfish, because it could all end tomorrow. And I don't mean to be morose, but it's true. It could all end in a big puff of smoke tomorrow. So yeah, just appreciate what you have. Live in this moment, this very present moment. That's why it's called a present, because it is a present. It's a gift. So use it wisely and don't waste it on arseholes. I'll end on a sweary note. Thank you. Take care. Bye.